your very best shape. So wireless charging, I'm sure every one of you have heard of this term wireless charging, and trust me, you'll be hearing this more and more in the coming years. 2020 especially will be a very important and crucial year where we will see this application of wireless charging in very vast aspects of technical equipments. It won't be any limited with respect to phones or the tablets or the wearables, but many more gadgets also will be soon supporting wireless charging. So currently the high-end premium phones are equipped with wireless charging, but as and when technology progresses, I hope the mid-rangers also will be getting wireless charging very soon. So we'll discuss everything with respect to wireless charging in detail. How does it work? What are the advantages, disadvantages, everything. So stay tuned in this video and make sure you watch the entire length of the video. So whether if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon. It really helps me to get motivated to make more and more tech videos like this. Also please like, share and comment in the description box below what next tech topics you want me to cover. So with that being said, let's get started. So wireless charging. Though the term is quite new to us, but the technology and the science behind it is quite old. It was Nikola Tesla around 100 years back who first told that you can transfer power or energy between two bodies via electromagnetic field. So now the obvious question which arises is if the technology is so old and if we knew about this fact, then why we weren't using this technology before? So to answer that, we first need to understand how does it work. So let's go there. Okay, first we need to understand that when electricity flows to an inductor, it generates electromagnetic field, electric field and magnetic field. So similarly, our wireless charging device is also an inductor. So if you open up any wireless charging device, you will see a series of copper wires that are encircling each other. So it is capable of generating electromagnetic field when external electricity is supplied to that, and generally operates at a frequency of 200 kilohertz. Now the phone which is capable of wireless charging will also have a set of copper wires at the back of the device. Now when external power supply is given to that charging pad, it will generate the electromagnetic field, and when the phone is kept on top of that device, that electromagnetic field will induce electricity to the phone's coil, and it is the phone's rectifier who will convert this alternating current to direct current and thereby charging the battery. So this is how wireless charging works in reality. Okay, coming back to the previous question, why we are seeing this technology now if it was invented 100 years back? So to answer this question, scientists actually could not figure out a way to transfer large amount of power with a shorter span of time with the equipments that was available earlier. So earlier the copper wires used to be thicker and the magnets used to be of large dimension with much lesser power. But with the advancements of technology and the cost optimization, the magnets are much more of lesser dimension and the wires are also getting thinner. So we are able to pack more number of wires over a magnet which is of much lesser dimension. So the cost factor is generally a great advantage with the advancement of technology, and the advancement of technology also proved the equipments to be of much more optimized, much more feasible. So that's why this is at its peak now, and we'll see more of this later. Coming to the wireless charging standards, we have two different charging standards which are doing the market right now, starting with the Qi, and second is the Airfuel Alliance standard. Qi charging standard we see in all the smartphones. So when they release any product which is capable of wireless charging, most of the wearables or the smartphones adhere to the Qi charging standard. So here you need to place your device which is capable of wirelessly charging over a charging pad which is also enabled with Qi charging. So there will be contact between the charging pad. So the Airfuel charging standard is quite interesting. It uses magnetic resonance and RF radio frequency. So coming to the magnetic resonance, it uses a specially laid coil and with certain orientation where it can actually wirelessly charge a device at a distance of 50 millimeter, that is 5 centimeter. So remember, in Qi charging standard, you need to actually place your device on top of a pad, and there should be direct contact with respect to the charging pad and your device. But it is not the case in case of the magnetic resonance technology. It can withstand a distance of 50 millimeters. And coming back to the RF technology of radio waves, there will be a transmitter who will be transmitting the radio waves, and the electronic gadget will have a receiver, but not a coil. It will have a receiver who will be able to receive the radio waves and thus charging the electronic gadget. So the exchange of power is not that great. It's a bit slow, but the distance is increased. So the transmitter and the receiver, which is the electronic gadget, can be at a distance of few centimeters up to a few meters. So applications will be definitely very endless here. Currently it is only confined to the wearables and the smartphones, but it will be soon expanded to all the electric vehicles, and soon all the vehicles will be electric in the future. So all the electric vehicles will be capable of charging wirelessly. The roads will be capable of charging the vehicles in a wireless fashion. There will be furnitures who will be equipped with the wireless charging capability, so that you can put your phone on top of the furniture and it will charge your phone. And IKEA already released a set of furnitures where they support wireless charging feature to any other gadget which supports that. So more and more advancements in technology will also expand the path to charge the electrical appliances which require more power with respect to its consumption. So I'm talking about the blenders, the grinders, the vacuum cleaners, etc. So the limitations are actually not confined, and it is really endless. So when it comes to the practical applications of the wireless charging device, we will see usage of glass at the back of the device. So why it's like that? Why glass is used? Why not metal? So metal is not used because of the fact it is a good conductor of electricity, and it can produce something known as eddy current. So it can absorb that electricity, produce eddy current, and thereby heating that device. So we will see the application of eddy current in case of geysers. That's how they get heated. So this eddy current gets converted into heat, and thereby heating the entire device, causing that device unsafe, and it may produce fire or may damage the electronic components within that device. So that's why glass is used, since the conductivity of the glass is negligible or close to zero. So everything sounds positive with respect to wireless charging, but what are the possible downsides? The first possible downside is usage of glass instead of metal. So glass is actually more brittle with respect to metal, right? We all know that. But since the conductivity of glass is negligible or close to zero, we must use glass in case of wireless charging. So that is the first downside. So second downside is, since the conductivity aspect of the wireless charging is so important, wireless charging does not supposedly work very fine if you put thick cases at the back of your phone. It works fine in case of thin cases, but with thick cases it does not work. The third disadvantage is with respect to the speed of that wireless charging. I mean, if you compare the wireless charging capability speed and the speed of wired charging, the wireless charging speed will be a little more. But definitely in the recent past, we have seen huge improvements in the speed of the wireless charging. We have seen charging speed from OnePlus at 30 watts, 40 watts, 60 watts also. So definitely it is going to be catching up soon with respect to the wired charging speed. That's all I had to tell. I hope you liked today's video. I hope it was informative. Please share it with your friends. I hope they find it informative as well. So with that being said, please like, share and comment in the description box what next tech topics I'm going to make. Please subscribe to this channel and take care. Bye bye.